Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our 9 p.m. English News edition. Here are the top stories. The President of the Republic, His Excellency Haj Ismail Omar Guelleh, departs for Angola. Still, for the national news, official launch of national strategies to combat non-communicable diseases. And for the international news, ambitious declaration on climate, debt and development. The details tonight. Welcome again, ladies and gentlemen. The details now, as I mentioned on the title, the head of state, His Excellency Mr. Ismail Omar Guelleh, left the country today, Sunday, heading to Luanda, the capital of Angola, where he will take part for 2 days, 24-25 November 2025, in the 7th African Union-European Union Summit. The AU-EU summit was established in 2000 with the aim of aligning the growing requirement of their cooperation on important topics such as peace, security, development, and migration. Over time, it has gradually become a major platform enabling Africa and Europe to better address contemporary challenges together. For this reason, the 7th summit will devote a significant part of its proceedings to defining more integrated frameworks between the two continents on preventing, managing, and organizing responses to emerge and global challenges, including the energy transition, the digital divide, and calls for a greater role for Africa and on the global stage. Should be noted that the President of the Republic will be accompanied on this trip to Angola by a high-level delegation that includes, among others, the Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, and the Ambassador of the Republic of Djibouti to the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia and permanent representative of our country to the African Union, the Ambassador of the Republic of Djibouti to the Kingdom of Belgium, permanent representative of our country to the European Union. And now we be under the high patronage of the Prime Minister, His Excellency Abdulkader Kamil Mohammed. The Ministry of Health launched the national strategies to combat non-communicable diseases and promote mental health last Tuesday at the Kempinski Hotel, marking a new step in reinforcing the national health priorities for the years 2026-2030. The event was attended by the Minister of Health, Dr. Ahmed Roble Abdille, as well as several senior officials in the sector. The World Health Organization representative in Djibouti also attended, along with national coordinators and experts involved in programs related to non-communicable diseases. From the opening ministry, teams welcomed the guests and presented several booths showcasing ongoing national initiatives. The three areas identified as essential for addressing the evolving epidemiological situation in the Republic of Djibouti. The representative of WHO in Djibouti praised the health authorities for their commitment, emphasizing the importance of these strategies in improving public health and reducing risk linked to chronic diseases. The Minister of Health, Dr. Ahmed Roble Abdille, reaffirmed the government's commitment to strengthen prevention, improving care, and mobilizing partners to respond coherently to the challenges posed by non-communicable diseases and mental health disorders. The highlight of the morning event was the speech delivered by the Prime Minister, Abdulkader Kamil Mohammed, who emphasized the strategic dimension of this initiative within the framework of 2026-2030 national priorities. Dr. Ahmed Roble Abdille, the Minister of Health, in his remarks, reaffirmed the government's firm commitment to strengthen prevention, improving the quality of care, and mobilizing partners to comfort the growing challenges posed by non-communicable diseases.
This
morning's ceremony marks the official launch of our new guidance frameworks and outreach materials designed to support the implementation of national strategies for the prevention and control of non-communicable disease. This include heart disease, cancer, mental health problems, and diabetes, all of which are now national health priorities for the Ministry of Health for the 2026-2030 period. Before anything else, I wish to express my sincere gratitude to Prime Minister Abdulkader Kamil Mohammed for graciously agreeing to preside over this event. Prime Minister, from this day forward, you stand as the leading voice in our national effort to confront non-communicable disease. Your presence shows not only your personal dedication but also the strong commitment of the government of Djibouti, which has made health a key part of our national development following the clear vision of the President of the Republic. Ladies and gentlemen, non-communicable or chronic disease have become one of the major health challenges of our era. For decades, our primary concern were communicable diseases such as malaria, HIV, and tuberculosis. These battles have yielded significant progress and notable achievement. Yet today, around the world, non-communicable diseases account for nearly 70% of all deaths, many of which affect young people and adults in their most productive years. Africa, which was once protected by its young population, is now seeing a fast rise in diabetes, high blood pressure, cancer, heart disease, and mental health problems.
And now, for his part, the Prime Minister, His Excellency Abdul Qadir Kamil Mohammed, highlighted the strategic importance of the initiative within the framework of the national priority for 2026-2030.
Aujourd'hui et ici, c'est avec un profond engagement.
Today, we gather with a profound sense of commitment to officially launch the national integrated strategies for combating non-communicable disease and advancing mental health. This plan continues the efforts undertaken to strengthen public health in Djibouti in response to the alarming rise of chronic disease affecting our population. These conditions, as ministers confirmed, are no longer confined to developed countries. They affect all segments of society. The event we celebrate today marks an important milestone in the development of our health system. It reflects the strong commitment and will of President Ismail Omar Guelleh and the government to guarantee every citizen the fundamental rights to health and well-being. Health is a shared responsibility that concerns every sector of our society. Chronic diseases such as diabetes, cardiovascular conditions, cancer, and chronic respiratory illnesses now represent a major threat to public health in Africa and in our country. They are among the leading and growing causes of morbidity and mortality, placing a heavy burden on our health system, our national economy, and the quality of life of our people. According to data from the Ministry of Health, non-communicable diseases are an increasingly heavy burden on our families, our hospitals, and our economy. This strategic plan aligns closely with the Sustainable Development Goals and our international commitment in the field of health.
And now we go into Morocco as part of the African Child Parliament Forum held in under the high patronage of King Mohammed IV. The Vice President of the National Assembly, Mr. Dilaté, Mohammed Dilaté, took part in an official meeting with Her Royal Highness Princess Lala Miriam, President of the 2025 session. The meeting took place on Saturday, 22nd November 2025 at the House of Representatives in the Kingdom of Morocco. The gathering also brought together heads of delegations from several African countries present in Rabat to participate in the forum. Discussion unfolded in an atmosphere of respect, appreciation, sincere friendship, and African brotherhood. Her Royal Highness expressed her sincere gratitude to the Republic of Djibouti for the warm welcome and the excellent arrangement made by the Moroccan authorities to ensure the success of this continental event. She also praised the outstanding commitment of Her Royal Highness Princess Lala Miriam to promoting, protecting, and upholding children's rights, a steadfast dedication that reinforces Morocco's leadership in this field at the African level. The Ministry of Women and Family officially appointed the following representatives to participate in the forum. At the conclusion of the forum, Djibouti's representative had the honor of presenting the final recommendations during the closing ceremony held in the presence of Her Royal Highness Princess Lala Miriam, highlighting the active and prominent contribution of the delegation. And now the Republic of Djibouti took part in the 21st General Conference of the UN Industrial Organization, the Development Organization, UNIDO, which was elevated to the 2025 World Industry Summit held in Riyadh, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, from 23rd and to 27 November 2025. The Djibouti delegation was represented by Ambassador Diaidine Bamkhrama, the Dean of the Diplomatic Corps of Djibouti, with the purpose of strengthening investment and cooperation opportunities in the industrial sector. The objectives of this participation included promoting discussions on sustainable industrial development, exploring partnerships in digitization and innovation, also identifying technological solutions to support the Djibouti's industrial transformation. And now, the Ministry of National Education and Vocational Training hosted the activities of World Diabetes Day, an event supervised by the Director General of Administration. This initiative coincided with the global celebration and was organized by the School of Health Department in cooperation with pediatrics diabetes specialist Dr. Abdurrahman Mumin and his team. This initiative coincided with the global celebration and was organized by the School Health Department in cooperation with especially Dr. Abdurrahman. The main team focused on the psychological burden associated with diabetes, a public health problem often overlooked yet strongly affecting the quality of life of those living with it. Participants discussed the importance of awareness and psychological support in managing diabetes. Additionally, free blood sugar tests were offered, allowing many participants to measure their glucose levels and receive practical advice. This initiative aligns with the Ministry's commitment to improving youth health and promoting responsible healthy behaviors. Dr. Abdurrahman Moomin also announced that the Youth Diabetes Center, which he heads, will conduct school visits aimed at screening at-risk students and referring them to the center for appropriate follow-up and care. This approach is part of a comprehensive strategy to prevent diabetes complications and ensure proper care for affected youth. The Ministry reaffirmed its commitment to student health and the advancing public health, ensuring that every young person receives the education and support suited to their needs. And now, as part of the 7th National Disabilities Week, the National Agency for Persons with Disabilities, in collaboration with the State Secretary for Sport, organized a major inclusive sporting event yesterday at King Fahd Stadium, gathering participants from across the disabilities and sports community. The aim of the day was to promote inclusive sports, offering persons with disabilities a space to relax, participate, and gain recognition for their abilities. The program included several sporting activities, an inclusive walk, followed by a race, a football match, and demonstrations in table tennis and pétanque. Beyond the sports, the event provided a space for exchange and social bonding while enhancing the visibility and presence of persons with disabilities. The event was attended by the General Director of National Union for Public Health, Mr. Duali, the Director of ANPH, Mr. Duali, the Director General of the Mohammed Omar, the Mayor, the President of the Commune of Bulaus, the President of the Table Tennis Federation. At the end of the ceremony, trophies were awarded to the winners, recognizing their efforts, commitment, and remarkable performance in an atmosphere of fair play and inclusiveness. And now, in his remarks, the Director General of the National Agency for Persons with Disabilities, Mr. Duali Saeed Mohamoud, he expressed his gratitude to all citizens who took part in the Sport for All activity. He stated that today is a day of joy as we officially launch the 7th National Disability Week. We began this afternoon with the sports segment, and the program will gradually unfold in the coming days. He added that this edition is entirely different from previous year, and for that reason, I feel great satisfaction and immense happiness. And now, in an in-depth statement given to the national television, First Lieutenant Hussein Ali Fitini drew attention to the growing concerns surrounding road safety in the country. The national police highlighted that a noticeable alarming increase in traffic light violations, excessive speeding, and reckless driving behaviors have been observed on several major roads in recent weeks. She explained that these infractions not only endanger the lives of drivers but also put pedestrians, families, and other vulnerable road users at serious risk. According to him, this rise in dangerous behavior reflects a broader challenge related to compliance with traffic regulations, underscoring the urgent need to strengthen public awareness. The captain also noted that in response to the situation, the authorities decided to hold a high-level press conference aimed at alerting the public and reinforcing collective understanding of road safety responsibilities. The senior officials and road safety specialists participated in the event, presenting data, real case studies, and preventive measures designed to curb the increased number of violations. She stressed also that respecting traffic laws is not only a legal obligation but also a civic duty, essential for preserving human life and maintaining order on public roads. She reminded the public that these regulations exist to protect every citizen and that following them is a shared responsibility among drivers, passengers, and pedestrians. And now sports, and the patronage of the State Secretary for Sports, the Arta region is preparing the host of the 90th edition of the Arta March, with which this year carries theme Together for a Healthy Climate and a Sustainable Environment. Ahead of this major event, a high-level delegation from the State Secretary for Sport visited Arta to finalize preparation in coordination with the local authorities. The delegation was led by the Secretary General, Mrs. Khadija Ibrahim, and included the Director of Sport, Mr. Abshir, the Director of Regional Affairs, as well as members of the communication team. Upon their arrival, they were welcomed by the Prefect headquarters, by the Prefect Hassan Dabeli. In the presence of the Deputy Prefect, the delegation then held a working session with representatives of the Regional Council and decentralized state services. The Prefect of Arta region, Mr. Hassan Dabeli, affirmed that all necessary measures have been taken to ensure the safety and well-being of participants. He stated, first of all, I would like to thank the State Secretary for Sport, which support us every year in organizing this march. The Arta Prefecture is responsible for organizing it, and this year marks its 19th edition. Still in Arta, as part of preparation for the second phase of the Djibouti Groundwater Resilience and Supply Enhancement Project, funded by the World Bank, with 21.5 million USD. A public consultative workshop was held in the meeting hall of the Regional Council. The workshop was attended by the Prefect of Dikhil, the President of the Regional Council, and the Director of Rural Water Resources. The consultation also brought together representatives of civil society, as well as local leaders and community elders. The Director of Hydraulic noted the importance of this project, explaining that the country is facing climate-related challenges that directly threaten livelihoods. The project, funded by the World Bank and scheduled for implementation from 2026 to 2031, represent a strategic response. This public consultative workshop aims to achieve many main objectives. And now a high-level delegation led by Mohamed Humed, the President of the Obakh Regional Council, accompanied by his Vice President, Mr. Mohamed, and joined by Mrs. Beat Dastel, UNICEF representative in Djibouti, along with her team, conducted a field visit to the village of Bisidiro. The delegation was welcomed by the Prefect Deputy, Mr. Mohamed Ali, and several community elders from the area. This visit was part of the Regional Council's annual work plan with UNICEF and received a warm reception from the local population. The program included a meeting with the local community, monitoring of the malnutrition prevention program, a cooking demonstration. After the meeting, the delegation attended and enjoyed the planning cooking demonstration, part of activities designed to combat malnutrition. Following the welcoming remarks, the Deputy Prefect and the village chief community representative presented an overview of daily life in Bisidiro, Obakh. They highlighted several challenges, including limited access to water for the school, the need for a community health center, and the revitalization of the region's extensive agro-pastoral zone and palm groves. The local authorities reaffirmed the government's commitment to supporting rural communities, several affected by drought and poverty. And for her part, Mrs. Beat Dastel, representative of the UNICEF, stressed that UNICEF works closely with the government of Djibouti and that her visit falls within the framework of monitoring the nutrition strengthening program implemented by the organization AFOD. And now for the international news, G20 in Johannesburg adopt ambition declaration focused on climate debt and development. As I mentioned in the title, the reports.
The Johannesburg G20 adopt an ambitious declaration focused on climate debt and development. Gathered for the first G20 summit ever held in Africa, world leader adopt in Johannesburg a 122-point declaration centered on solidarity, equality, and sustainability. In this document, G20 states call for strengthened resilience to disaster, particularly for the most vulnerable countries, and and recommend anticipatory financing mechanisms such as contingent credit line or catastrophe bonds.
And now, climate vulnerable countries call for for 120 billion USD annually for adaptation.
COP30 climate conference in Brazil, the country is most exposed to the effect of global warming, call for increasing adaptation financing to $120 billion per year in response to growing risk and declining international support. The group of least developed countries, a small island state, and several African nations demand a clear agreement guaranteeing precise targets and effective financing to protect population from storm, drought, and heat waves, as well as to the support of technology transfer and capacity building. Sierra Leone's Minister of Climate and Environment said and emphasized the need to turn vague ambitions into concrete action, noting that wealthy countries have still not met their pledge to provide $40 billion annually for adaptation.
And now we go into the Middle East, where Israel continues airstrikes in Gaza on the 44th day of the ceasefire as calls grow for inquiry into the October 7 attack.
44 days since the start of ceasefire in Gaza, Israel continues its strike on various areas of the enclave, while renewed calls are heard in Tel Aviv from the formation of an official commission to investigate October 7, 2023 attack. Field reports and official sources indicate that over past 24 hours, the Gaza Strip recorded the death of 23 martyrs in Israeli strike targeting civilian sites. The occupying army carried out extensive house demolition in the areas it's control in the center of Gaza Strip.
And now this is it for this 9 p.m. English News edition. Thank you for watching us. Stay tuned for more on RTD.